What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Alligator Garage. We're hanging out with Nick, the owner of Calibrated Power, and we talked about some Stealth turbos here. What do we have going on?
We got a pretty good variety over here today. We've got a whole table full of Stealth turbochargers.
Yeah.
So the Stealth is our biggest growing brand right now. The turbochargers are designed to bolt right in place where your stock turbocharger was. So simple installation, right? That's number one. And we're looking for something that can support that extra horsepower, keep your EGTs down. You know, if you're going to replace a turbocharger, all the reasons you'd want to replace a turbocharger, get that extra air through the motor.
Right, extra power, of course.
And extra power, exactly. And you'd be really surprised how much more power you can make out of a stock appearing turbocharger compared to a stock turbocharger.
Right.
So on your side over there, we have the HE341, HE351 version. So that'd be for your 03 to 2000s, early 2007 Cummins. That is our most popular turbocharger right now.
Yep, we installed one of these on one of our sales guys' trucks, and on his, I think is a 04 Cummins or something like that, and absolutely loved it. Throttle response was great. Seemed like every video after that was nothing but burnout videos from him. He came from the BMW car world and everything, and so he got himself a 04 Cummins trying to be a part of the clan. And tossed one of these on. I think it was still stock fueling with your guys' tuning. And truly every video after that was just nothing but burning tires.
Just him doing heaters.
Yep.
So on that, the Stealth 64 we've seen with the truck like that is just straight up 80 horsepower. Bolt that turbocharger on, it cleans up the extra fuel that's there that's being wasted on drive pressure and over speeding on the stock turbo, and that fuel gets used up and about 80 extra horsepower to the tire on that Stealth 64. We've pushed that to 720 to the tire. I would say that's leaning on it a little harder than I'd like. We also have a 67 mil version of that if you're looking for that 700 plus horsepower, that's going to be your best option. But that 64 is nasty, man. It spools up right quick.
Still a great towing turbo at that point.
Great towing turbo. Yeah, love that thing for towing. Love it for compounding later down the road. So if that's what you're looking to do with the truck eventually, and you just kind of want to
do like an S480 or something like that.
Absolutely, 480, 488, be a 1,000 horse setup, no problem. Next one in line here, we have the Stealth 67 G2. This is on a LLY chassis. We also do it on an LML. The 67 G2 represents a culmination of a lot of engineering on the turbine side. So we're really focusing on big wheel, big vanes, custom unison ring, pushing that pushing that wall down in our mill so we get the most turbine flow we can get. And that's all lower EGTs. Better turbine flow means lower drive pressure. So at a certain boost level, if you have that drive pressure balanced to the boost, that turbocharger is going to be a lot happier. Your truck's going to be a lot happier.
That's what the majority of the guys are using these trucks for. Obviously, they're 3/4, 1 ton trucks. It's mainly for a towing application, daily driven pickup truck. And so they're definitely needing the drivability factor more than anything. And that's something that you hit on more than anything. It's not just a truck that's going to throw a monster single on it and just sled pull or something along those lines. It's going to be something that's a multi-purpose vehicle.
I mean, we've all been in S400 5.9 trucks, right? Like, it's not a pleasant
Lags
experience
for days and
after
then
2 years.
Finally hits in. And when it does hit in, it's great. But,
it's nasty.
Nothing on the bottom end.
It's regret after a few months of driving it, and that's what we're trying to avoid here, is to get you something that's going to get that power number, but also let you use the truck towing. Power is going to be there. The throttle response is going to be there.
What are you guys changing internally? You guys are doing compressor wheel, turbine wheels.
So the Stealth 67 is a 67 millimeter billet compressor wheel made out of 70/75. All of our turbos use billet compressor wheels, right? The turbine is a monster, so it's bigger than the 4094 VA turbine. The vanes are bigger than a 4094 VA. It's an extremely high flow turbine.
360 thrust all the way around.
360 thrust, yep. Everything's, we're machining everything. We're doing everything in-house. So our fit and finish has been, on a turbo, clearance is everything. If your clearance wall to your wheel to wall clearance isn't there, the performance of the turbo isn't going to be there. It might make the number up top, but your drivability, your response, you're going to lose a lot in efficiency there. And so we're able to control quality really well in-house with these things.
Nice. And then what we have for this next one?
Yeah, this is the LML version, and if you look,
that seems to be a pretty hot product. Is that
very hot product?
Full LML product line there.
Yeah, I mean, the LML has a kind of weird diagonal downpipe flange, and that's what differentiates it, and along with some stuff on the center section. But we're going into this exhaust housing with our mill and getting in there and really hogging that thing out, and we do that on the intake ports for all of our turbochargers as well. We port match them to the same size as the factory gasket.
Right on.
So it's little stuff like that, right? When you get
it's all in the details.
It's all in the details, right? This one's a Stealth 64 for the guys looking to make 600, 620 horsepower, or just looking to replace your stock turbocharger with something that's going to perform better, keep EGTs down towing.
Right.
The Stealth 64 is a solid one. We also sell this in the Stealth 67 G2 for the LML. Nasty turbocharger.
Right.
Easily make 700 horsepower with it. Drivability on the Stealth 67 G2 is comparable to the 64. It's very quick to respond. One of my favorite turbos to drive.
And what are you guys seeing in the Power Stroke world?
I'd love to tell you I had something in the Power Stroke world. They use a real similar chassis to the Duramax, but we haven't got into the Power Strokes yet. I have a box full of turbochargers that are slated for development work, and we're going to get there, but we don't
we
have
talked about
right
that
now.
a little bit of some of the, I guess, the progression with this turbo line and starting to open up not only just the Cummins and Duramax and everything, but starting to jump into the Power Strokes. They're a whole another monster of turbos.
Yeah. I mean, I know the market's there. I know the trucks run strong. I know they need a turbocharger. It's just you can only grow so fast.
Oh, absolutely. When you start messing with some very complex things like this, especially when you're in-house, you're not just buying, a factory turbo from, Borg or something and tossing a new wheel into it and selling it as your line. You're going through and you're changing a lot of things.
We're changing a lot of things, and we're running these trucks on our test vehicles, verifying
on
the power
your in-house
numbers,
dyno,
running them on the dyno in-house, putting trailers behind them, beating on them, making
and
sure
being a tuning company, you're really factored to getting an overall well-running truck.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be able to tune it well. You got to be able to tell other people how to tune it when they, if they buy from another tuner and they put this turbocharger on. So yeah, it's a whole, it's the whole scope of support there.
Right on.
Last one on the end is the LB7. So 01 to early 04 guys.
Yep.
We sell this in a 64 and a 67. We have a turbine matched to the 64 and a turbine matched to the 67. So different turbine depending on how big the compressor is. You'll see that theme throughout our lineup as the turbine is sized relative to the compressor. 64 G2 is a really quick spooling, fun driving turbocharger. I recommend it for anybody towing, anybody running 600 horsepower stock fuel. It'll easily make that number and be very responsive. Even a truck running stock fuel or doing a replacement turbocharger, the 64 G2 drives great.
Nice.
And you'll see lower EGTs, especially guys running at altitude or running in situations where the air isn't ideal.
Right.
So if you want to step up from here, we got the 67, again, bigger turbine with a bigger compressor wheel. That's the one I ran on the Apache when I dirt dragged it at your place this year, right?
I think you took home a trophy that day too.
I was going to let you say that. I wasn't going to say that.
Right. I think I won that,
But capable of 750 plus horsepower.
Right.
Very fun driving setup.
Right on, Nick. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for showing off all the different turbo options across the board for both Cummins and Duramax. If you guys have any questions about this, check out our website at alligatorperformance.com. We have all the information with the various year mix and models for all these turbos.